right, welcome. It's time for us to talk sports on global television, and we've got some of the biggest stories making the rounds. We're still looking at the aftermath of the 33rd edition of the Olympic Games in France, where Nigeria came home empty-handed. And we'll be looking at some other big stories, talking about transfer markets in the European leagues across the world. We're going to England and other leagues, and we'll also be talking boxing and the mixed martial art on today's edition. But let's begin from the home front, where President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has joined other basketball enthusiasts to applaud the Tigress head coach Reina Wakama following the team's laudable outing at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, which led to her being voted the best coach of the women's basketball tournament, an honor Tinubu said was well deserved. The country's #1 citizen lauded the 32-year-old coach in a statement via the spokesman Ajuri Ngelale. Several basketball enthusiasts collaborated at the president's recommendation of Wakama and her charges. In the comment section of the post on X, the Tigress exceeded expectations, making it to the quarterfinals of the tournament, a feat no other African team has achieved, with their splendid run ended by the United States of America. The African champions outing in Paris was the most significant performance by an African team in history at the Olympic basketball tournament, with Wakama the main protagonist of the unprecedented feat. Despite being tagged underdogs, Nigeria were sensational at the tournament, winning the heart of basketball fans following their victories over Australia and Canada. So once again, we say congratulations to the superb coach. Talking about Reina Wakama, the coach of the Tigress, did great things, beating Australia and Canada on their way to the quarterfinals of the basketball event, and still getting accolades as regards the performance of the Tigress. And we're hoping that the Tigress will be able to do more in the coming days and weeks. All right, let's go to the round leader game. It's a UEFA Super Cup on the horizon, as Atlanta winger Ademola Lookman says his team is fully prepared for the UEFA Super Cup clash against Real Madrid, as the Ladern aim to build on their recent European success and challenge the Spanish giants for another prestigious trophy. Atlanta, who secured their first ever European title in a resounding 3-0 victory over Bayer Leverkusen in UEFA Europa League final, will face reigning UEFA Champions League holders in Warsaw on Wednesday night. The match promises to be an thrilling encounter, with Lookman eager to test himself against the Ancelotti star-studded squad, which includes a new signings Kylian Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, and Vinicius Junior. Lookman's confidence comes on the heels of his historic hat-trick in the Atlanta UEFA Europa League final over Bayer Leverkusen, a performance that cemented his place in European football history, as he became the first player to score a hat-trick in the competition's final, dramatically ending Bayer Leverkusen's 51 unbeaten run and earning Atlanta their first major title since 1963. Meanwhile, the 26-year-old is set to lead Atlanta's charge as they aim to upset the Spanish giants, talking about Real Madrid in the Super Cup. All right, in the course of the program, we'll be joined by Frank Alapa, who is a sportscaster way in Edo State, to give us his take as regards some of the happenings in the exciting world of sport. I'm hoping he will be joining us very soon. All right, let's give you more transfer news, as Victor Osimhen risks being fined by Napoli after the Nigerian international was filmed having an altercation with a fan in the nightclub. Osimhen has been the subject of transfer speculation, with the Lagos-born striker linked with a move to Chelsea. The 25-year-old was absent for Napoli's Coppa Italia first-round fixture against Modena at the Stadio Maradona on Saturday night due to his unresolved future, with Napoli director Giovanni Manna confirming he had requested to leave the club. His hefty £130 million His hefty €130 million release clause has scared off many suitors, with Chelsea the only European club still keen on signing him after PSG backpedaled While his transfer situation remains unresolved, the former Leeds striker may have landed in hot water with the club's hierarchy after a video posted by TikToker Roberto Coriolo showed the former Leeds player at a famous nightclub in Naples. In the video, Osimhen was seen pushing his way through the crowd, overtly upset about being recorded, and approached the fan in anger before the video abruptly stopped. According to the Italian publication Corriere dello Sport, the Nigerian faces a sanction as his manager Antonio Conte is known for discipline. All right, let's go for a quick break. When we return from the break, we'll be talking to Frank Alapa, and also hopefully we'll be joined also by Prince Effiong, who will be helping us do some analysis after this break. Stay with us.
I want to go further to congratulate you on being on DSTV 365. Yeah, channel 365 is an awesome thing. Congratulations, and I will enjoy each and every one to keep on watching Global TV.
This is Global TV for your current affairs, for your current information, ideas, education, entertainment news at the best. Channel 365 on DSTV. You have just come alive into a new phenomenon in the media industry. Keep watching. Stay tuned.
Keep watching Global Television on DSTV channel 365 for your news and all national issues and international breaking news. Watch Global TV.
Come back from that break to still talk sport, and we're looking at the big stories making the rounds. I told you we'll be joined by Frank Alapa, who is a sportscaster, to join us and look at some of the interesting stories making the rounds. Before I call in Frank, just to let you know that BFC striker Zizat Oshoala will play against her former club FC Barcelona for the first time when her National Women's Soccer League club hosts the Catalans in an international club friendly on Tuesday, August 27th. The 29-year-old joined BFC from Barcelona in February and is expected to face her former teammates at their new home ground, PayPal Park in San Jose. BFC CEO Brad Stewart shared his thought on the match that will take place in between the NWSL regular season. And Oshoala, who had a quiet Olympic campaign with the Nigerian Super Falcons, can be aptly termed a Barcelona legend, having scored 85 goals in 101 matches from 2019 to 2024. The record 6-time African Women's Footballer of the Year winner, won 4 Primera Division, 3 UEFA Women's Champions League, and 4 Super Copa de España Femenina, and 3 Copa de Reina, and won Copa Catalunya title with the club, emerging as the Primera Division top scorer with 20 goals in the 2021-2022 season. The former Liverpool and Arsenal striker has become a mainstay at BFC, scoring their first goal in their 1-0 victory against Angel City in her NWSL debut. So that's Oshuala there doing great things, and we're wishing her the best as she faces her former club, FC Barcelona. All right, we've been joined by Frank Alapa. Frank, good morning. Nice to have you join us on Talk Sports. Good morning, Frank. Frank, can you hear me? All right, I think having some... Hello, Frank. All right, I think Frank will do well to rejoin us. Unmute your mic so that we can hear you loud and clear. Then we can continue our discourse. Let's move on to the big story concerning Zubi Mendy. Yes, Zubi Mendy is the player we're talking about this morning. Zubi Mendy rejects a move to Anfield is the talking point. Let's say that Liverpool top summer transfer target Martin Zubi Mendy has rejected a proposal to join the Merseyside club and will remain at a boyhood team Real Sociedad. Spain's European Championship winner was identified as a top priority for Arne Slot's this window, and Liverpool believe they could tempt him away from La Real. He had previously rejected the likes of Arsenal and Bayern Munich. All right, we've been joined again by Frank Alapa. Frank, good morning. Thank you for joining us on Talk Sports.
Thank you, Tony. It's good to be here on Fox Sports. Good to join you. My pleasure, indeed.
All right, let's just look at some of the stories gone by before you joined us. One of them having to be with the president hailing Reina Wakama, the coach of the Tigress, for the performance of the Tigress at the Olympics. What's your take as against Nigeria's outing at the Olympics before you dive into Wakama's performance with the Tigress?
Contrary to what most people said, that it was abysmal, I will join the great Segun Odegbami in saying that we gave as good as we could give. Nigerians were asking for what they did not put in there. This is the Olympics. This is the height of sports, of sporting achievement and attainment and sporting spectacle. And Nigeria did not exactly go there with the same level of preparation that other countries who participated and won medals went there with. So we went there to showcase our talents, and showcase our talents we did. And so that's as good as it got. If we are going to say we are disappointed, that means we are being delusional. We did as much as we could. So that's all that we are going to most celebrate. That's the best we could do. We just went to the Olympics to showcase our talents. That's all. So I am going to congratulate the athletes. I'm going to congratulate them for participating, because that's the spirit of the Olympics. I would not say I'm disappointed, because I expected this much. If we had won a medal, that would have been excessive bonus. You don't plant cocoyam and expect bananas. I am not disappointed. Yes.
Let's look at Reina Wakama. Would you say she did extremely well carrying the Tigress to the quarterfinals of the basketball tournament?
Oh, Tony, that's an understatement. Reina Wakama, I will tell you, I was one of those who did not believe in her when she was appointment during the Afro basketball. I will give you my exact words. She was pizza served in a trash can. But then she has gone to prove herself. Let me tell you this, Tony. I did a little bit of analysis on Reina Wakama with the style of play that she has. I don't know if you remember the Miami Heat in the NBA.
Yes,
high defense, full court defense. That was the way the Tigress played. And it's all due to Rena Wakama's ability to infuse that style of play. There was a style of play for the Tigress, and it was evident. It was studied by the Americans. It was studied by the French. The Americans were so in tune with us that they had to make changes when they played against Nigeria. Likewise, the French team. So I think if there's anybody that should get the commendation that she did, where she was given the award as the best basketball coach in the Olympic Games, Rena deserved it because she's a student of the game. And she applied every bit of what she learned in the game. So Rena, congratulations to Rena. That's the evidence that there's so much talent in Nigeria. And if given the opportunity to grow and to blossom, that's the word, we will get the very best of Nigerians to the world. It's unfortunate that that's not the case, but I am so glad. I am so happy. This is something that we can have an Owambe for, that Rena Wakama at least went to the Olympics and got a measure of one or two things from her participating. So Rena Wakama, congratulations, and thank you for being in Nigeria.
All right, let's look forward. The Nigerian basketball family is still not united. Are you worried that, aside the president giving kudos to Wakama, he has not made effort to clean up what's going wrong with the basketball family? Because we're still having issues.
You see, when the sports minister got angry just before the end of the Olympics, and he was ranting and getting very upset that federation presidents need to be scrutinized and their activities and elections and all that, it's unfortunate because this has been what has bedeviled Nigerian sport. It's not talent, it is administrative structure. And that's the problem that we have. We are blessed with talent. And it was very evident at the Olympics, where you saw Nigerians representing different countries and winning, from Bahrain to, in Australia, in the basketball, a number of Nigerians played basketball. So it is very important that the minister especially must do something and not go the way of other sports ministers. The minister must be able to create policies that will ensure that these sports, especially basketball, that is showing that it has enough talent, thrive. They shouldn't make the same mistake that the likes of Dalong and Sunday Dare did, and that's fight against federation ministers, and that means going into the mud with them. It is very dicey right now, Tony. Nigeria has been on the edge of dominating the world or breaking through the glass ceiling and taking over the world in sports, but administrative inconsistencies and not having institutionalized structures is preventing Nigeria from ruling the world in sports. And that's the unfortunate thing. It's not only in basketball, Tony. It's in football, it's in table tennis, it's in practically every aspect of sports. We don't have structures. We've not been able to institutionalize these structures so that we'll have a line, a chain of young talents growing and coming in and knowing the next step and the next step and the next step. That has been our problems. See what happened at the Olympics. We beat, for goodness sake, the Deep Tigress beat world number 3, beat world number 5, and went toe-to-toe with world number 1. And if you look at the quarterfinals of the Olympic Games, Nigeria, of all the quarterfinalists that lost, Nigeria scored more points than any other team, which means if we hadn't played against the US and playing with the style of play we played and the enthusiasm, we probably would have made it to the semifinals. So it's not a matter of the talent, it's a matter of administration, and it needs to be dealt with. But it needs to be dealt with from the top as policies, not fighting with the federations. So If the minister really means what he means by saying that he's going to make changes, he needs to take a different approach to it. That's my take, Tony.
All right, well said there. Let's move on to the next talking point. Atalanta winger Ademola Lookman says his team is fully prepared for the UEFA Super Club clash against Real Madrid as they aim to build on the recent European success and challenge the Spanish giant for another prestigious trophy. Are you excited about the fact that Ademola Lookman would have a chance to probably entice Carlo Ancelotti and the Galacticos? What's your expectations for this cracker between two European giants? And not forgetting that over the weekend, your team, Manchester United, were beaten by Man City in the Community Shield.
I don't know when you gave me Manchester United as my team, but I will tell this as a Nigerian. I am ecstatic for Ademola Lookman. I am so ecstatic for him. This is somebody that has gone through a whole lot and scoring a hat-trick, creating history by scoring a hat-trick at the finals of the Europa League, beating the almost invincible Leverkusen, being the one to score the goal. I think Ademola Lookman is not celebrated enough. If Ademola Lookman had, just like Eto said, if he had a Ronaldinho in his name, he probably would have been put up for, he would be in the top 5 of the Ballon d'Or nominees for his performance in the finals and what he did for Atlanta last season. So looking ahead to the Super Cup against Real Madrid, Atalanta is the team that has a lot to prove. Atlanta needs to prove. And Ademola Lookman is upping the ante by saying that they are ready for Real Madrid. And they are going to give Real Madrid a good run for their money, I think. I am looking forward to a fantastic game. Carlo Ancelotti is going to definitely have the likes of Kylian Mbappe in the team. It will be Kylian Mbappe's first official match for Real Madrid, and it will probably be his first dab or attempt at a trophy. But don't take anything away from Atalanta. They shocked everybody when they played against Leverkusen with their style of play, their counter-attacking and their counter-transition style. And Ademola Lookman being the man who get the goals and his movement is going to be a dangerous play if Real Madrid underestimates him. He's fast, he's sneaky, and he's got a mean shot. I feel Ademola Lookman will be a difference maker in this game because he has a lot to prove. Madrid will have an excuse that they are just coming back, they are tired. But my God, I am looking forward. Honestly, a whole lot of Madrid fans will be looking forward to Kylian Mbappe. I don't think Mbappe going to do anything major. I see the onus on Atlanta, and I see Ademola Lookman making a statement in this match. This match is for Ademola Lookman to make a statement, not for Real Madrid or Kylian Mbappe to make a statement. And I see him going to make a statement in this match. I see a big upset. I see a big upset, Tony. A big upset. It will not really affect Real Madrid because they will tell you that a lot has gone down before the start of the season. But do not dismiss Ademola.
Okay, let's look at Carlo Ancelotti. How big is the task for Carlo Ancelotti having 3 key players, superstars, to blood those 3 superstars into the Galacticos? We've got Endrick, we've got Kylian Mbappe coming into the fold. How easy do you think it's going to be for Carlo Ancelotti to blood these players inside and for the team to blend, especially with Mbappe's attitude? We know in Paris Saint-Germain, he seems to be a crybaby, always wanting the attention, to be the center point. How do you see Carlo Ancelotti's burden trying to blood these players and making them the Galacticos they are?
Sorry, I'm going to be straightforward with you. I am not going to beat around the bush. Let's lay this card on the table. Carlo Ancelotti and Kylian Mbappe. When I will give you an example, when Cristiano Ronaldo was in Real Madrid, it was his team. It was his team. He took the penalties, he took the free kicks. It was his team. When anybody got a salary increase, Cristiano Ronaldo will sulk. It's the same path that Kylian Mbappe has told. He came in as the superstar. This team is Kylian Mbappe's team. It's not about Vinicius. It's not about Rodrigo. It's not about Endrick. It is about Kylian Mbappe. And that's the reason why they went all out to get him. So it's just like the case of Cristiano Ronaldo. If Kylian doesn't play, a whole lot of people will have questions to answer. So everybody is living in Kylian Mbappe's world. Let's not get it twisted here. Now, just like he said, how is Carlo Ancelotti has been playing it down so that people would not want to bring up that issue of Kylian Mbappe going to be the diva. But he is going to be the diva. He is going to be priority. The other guys are going to be supporting cast. There will be a very fantastic supporting cast. But Kylian Mbappe, if he's fit, if he's ready, is going to be the first name on that list. Now, the onus, as you said, is going to be on Carlo Ancelotti to make it work. And Carlo Ancelotti has always, even when Benzema was there, and then or when the other guys, he will find a way because he has a lot of experience and his easygoing attitude. And one quality he has that works for him effectively is the fact that Carlo Ancelotti has been able to find a way to manage all the egos and put them together and make them understand that it's about Real Madrid, and make them also, he has to also make them understand that, look, this guy is the biggest brand in football right now. Tony, I saw him on CNN and he was talking about the chances of how it will be when the World Cup is going to be in the USA. They're already talking to Kylian Mbappe. Do you understand me? So it's going to be Carlo Ancelotti massaging all the other egos and letting them know that Kylian is the mega star. And Kylian is not, just like he said, he's a crybaby. Yes, this is what modern day football is all about. It's not only about the field, it's also about what the brand brings. And the biggest brand in world football right now, take it to the bank, is Kylian. And Florentino Perez understands brand marketing. And as long as he delivers on the field and delivers outside the field, every other person is going to play second fiddle. We know the talents of Vinicius, we know the talents of Rodrigo, we know the prodigious talents of Endrick, but Kylian is the man. Where is he going to play? How is he going to play? I think Carlo Ancelotti has said that he's going to allow them have a free will. Remember, there are times when, during the course of when Benzema was there, Benzema falls back and moves back. Kylian is going to have that free reign to move around, just like how Cristiano Ronaldo was playing. And I don't think it will be a problem. I really don't. Kylian is going to get the penalties. Kylian is going to ensure that he can move around, change sides, come from the right side, come from the left side. He will have a free reign to move around, just like how Ronaldo did. And then go along with the formation of the coach where it is necessary. I don't think it will be a problem. I think the media is trying to raise a whole lot of dust because before Kylian came in, Vinicius was there. And they had won the Champions League without Kylian Mbappe. But my brother, this is about branding. Did you see how many people came to welcome Kylian Mbappe? 80,000 plus. You want to bench such a person or make such a person unhappy? Won't work, bro. Won't work. So Ancelotti is the best person for the job.
Excited as Kylian Mbappe. Let's talk about Victor Osimhen, who risked being fired by Napoli after the Nigerian international was filmed having an altercation with a fan in a nightclub. Osimhen has been subject of transfer speculations with the Lagos-born striker linked with a move to Chelsea, but the 25-year-old was absent at Napoli's Coppa Italia first-round fixture against Modena at the Stadio Maradona on Saturday, with Napoli director Giovanni Amana confirming he had requested to leave the club. But his 130 million euros fees seem to scare people away. Only Chelsea coming around. Do you think Osimhen is going through a very rough patch, aside from the Finidi George outburst to now dragging off his transfer? away from Napoli. And the fact that we've got Antonio Conte now the coach of Napoli.
Well, Conte has said that he would prefer what's his name now? Prefer Lukaku to Osimhen. And Osimhen has indicated that he doesn't want to stay back, so he needs to move. It's for me. I spoke about this in another forum, and I really want to tell you this: that if there's anybody that is going to be a problem for Osimhen, it's not exactly Osimhen. It's De Laurentiis. Osimhen wants to leave. They've agreed he has to leave. And where he's going to go is because PSG has put a mark. They are not going to pay anything more than 60 million for Osimhen, cash down. Chelsea has even brought it down lower from 60 million. They are saying 45, and with some certain insulting options as per whether he would options to buy. There was an agreement with PSG. Terms had been agreed before PSG insisted that they're not going to pay beyond a certain amount. It is still the transfer window has not closed yet. It hasn't closed yet, so it's going to be long drawn. And Napoli and the president need to realize that this young man doesn't want to stay. He wants to take his talent somewhere else. And for me, Osimhen has grown bigger, far bigger than Napoli. Osimhen needs to be where in a club where his exploits, where he will be projected as one of the best players in the world, and he will be a huge brand, which Chelsea or PSG would be able to put up there for him. So I think his managers or his handlers or those who are handling his management need to start talking to Napoli to drop that price, because right now there are only two clubs that are coming out who are ready to put up such an amount for him. At one point in time, now Arsenal were hoping they could get him, but the money was just exorbitant. Not that Osimhen is not worth it, but this is what the market is saying. So it's the club. Whether Osimhen was at the nightclub and was having an altercation with the fan or not, it's good for the news. It's good for PR. Osimhen needs to be in the news. Osimhen needs to be in the news. And as long as he has filed that he wants to leave, Napoli can't touch him again. Osimhen needs to be in the news. Was he fighting? No. He had an altercation. He had a shouting argument with somebody because the person was getting into his space. You understand? So Osimhen needs to be in the news. I don't see anything bad about it. And remember, Osimhen is a Gen Z. So these are some of the things that go along with the Gen Z, this generation of players. They talk on social media. They want to be heard. They want to be seen. So I think Nigerians should give Osimhen some slack. But the main thing for me is that Osimhen's management should get down and dirty with the president of Napoli to let Osimhen go by reducing that price and coming to terms with what is good for the man. He has done well for Napoli. Napoli need to let him leave. And they need to drop that price because the market is not accepting that amount that Napoli is stomping up for Osimhen. And Osimhen doesn't I hear you.
Buy out his contract or take a pay cut so that he can move.
The thing is that it's not about the pay cut. It's not. With PSG, all personal terms have been agreed. Personal terms have been agreed. It was the valuation, the valuation of Napoli that is put. Yes, it's Napoli that is putting up the problem. It's Napoli. It's De Laurentiis that is putting up the problem because De Laurentiis believes that he needs to make humongous profit out of Osimhen. Yes, he is. He stayed back because there was the possibility, which his PR team said, he stayed back the possibility of becoming the first black player or the first African or getting that record as the first African to win the Capo Cardoniere. He was given that award and then won the best player in Italy, the award. That was huge. That was record breaking. So he stayed back because that was the good advice. You remember when Cristiano Ronaldo stayed back at Manchester United to win the Ballon d'Or. He was shoe in to win the Ballon d'Or. He stayed back. That was why Osimhen stayed back. And then because of the love of Napoli, he did not move in January when he was so hot that so many things were bidding for him. Now, Napoli needs to do the needful and help this young man move on. If the market, because the market forces are not
saying... We know that at a point, players tend to force their way out by putting in a transfer request, deciding to sit out of trainings and other things. Can he push Llorente more so that he can move?
De Laurentiis is like the Daniel Levy of Tottenham.
Okay.
Greed.
Very shrewd.
Very shrewd and very hard. He almost destroyed Eriksen's career, almost destroyed Modric's career, because this is what he wanted and this is what he wanted. We don't want that for Osimhen, because I'm sorry, I'm going to bring the race thing. He's an African. And the type of push that would have come for Osimhen is not what is coming in for Osimhen, because it's just the management that he's battling with. I would hope that the Nigerian Football Federation, the Confederation of African Football, the media would rise up for us, because this is the African Footballer of the Year, reigning. He is the Italian Footballer of the Year, reigning. So they need to help Osimhen right now, because even if Osimhen decides that Conte dropped him, he didn't take him for the preseason tour, he didn't take him for the Coppa Italia that came, he wasn't there. And he has put in that he wants to leave. So if De Laurentiis actually values Osimhen, allow the young man go and put all the add-ons and the stipulations, just like Fabrizio Romano has said. The market is not going to allow De Laurentiis take Osimhen cash down for 100 million. They have reduced it to 80. And PSG, who seems to be the biggest team that wants him, are saying that they are not going above 60 million cash down, and the other things can be add-ons. Chelsea even brought it even lower. So if you have these two big teams insisting on this, which other team can come for Osimhen and stock up 80 million? The market is not allowing it. So the market forces are tying, are the ones determining this. And so De Laurentiis must realize that he has played a wrong gamble.
All right.
He has played a wrong gamble.
Okay, Frank, let's go for a quick
break. I think
I will urge
maybe
you to please rejoin us in the next 2 minutes as we go for a quick break. When we return, we'll be looking at other transfer market and other big stories making the rounds. We've got Anthony Joshua coming up. We've got Israel Adesanya also coming up after this break. Frank, do rejoin us in 2 minutes. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
By your name, you say global. So global is a big coverage. So you are taking a big name, but you are starting from from scratch. So that big name, by the grace of Almighty Allah, you achieve that. You will appreciate your activities, your reportage, and everything you are doing. Do it with the fear of Almighty God. Step by step, you'll be growing very, very globally. Get your things right and then report rightly. And then inshallah, sky will be your limit.
All right, welcome back. We're still talking sport on Global Television, looking at all the big stories with very frank analysis with Frank Alapa, who is joining us from Edo State, Benin City. Hopefully, he'll be joining us in the next 9 minutes to wrap it up. But let's give you some more stories making the rounds. Let's begin from the story that has to do with Zubi Mendy. As Liverpool's top summer transfer target, Martin Zubimendi, has rejected a proposal to join the Merseyside club and will remain at the boyhood team Real Sociedad. Spain's European Championship winner was identified as the top priority for Arne Slot's men this window, and Liverpool believed that they could tempt him away from the La Real. He had previously rejected the likes of Arsenal and Bayern Munich, but it now appears the move is off, with Zubimendi being convinced to stay by a charm offensive from his current club, led by manager Emon Agosil. It is understood that the boss had several meetings with the 25-year-old and tugged on his heartstrings to stay, referencing how the fan base would be disappointed by his exit. So Liverpool missing that player, he would not be joining Liverpool anymore. Let's move to the next one. We're talking Chelsea fire sale. That's the big story there. Chelsea fire sale is what we're looking at, as Chelsea will look to raise over £200 million in player sales as they enter the final phase of another extraordinary window that has seen rivals question how they can continue to spend so lavishly without reprisals. The £54 million signing of Pedro Neto from Wolves this weekend was their 12th of the summer, but won't be the last. Indeed, Atletico Madrid's bully striker Samuel Omorodion should have been next through the Stamford Bridge revolving door, only for negotiations to collapse on Sunday evening. Let's also let you know that attention has switched to a familiar face in Atletico's João Felix, one of the several options under consideration, and they still want a centre forward such as Napoli's Victor Osimhen before the deadline of August 30th. It is easy to see how Chelsea have spent £1.5 billion in Todd Bowley's era. Chelsea still wanting Osimhen to join them. Let's see what's going to happen before August 30th when the transfer window closes. All right, from Chelsea, those are pictures of Chelsea wanting Osimhen, and you could see pictures of Lukaku. Some of the players would be sold by Chelsea for them to be able to meet up with the financial fair play, policy. That's Lukaku and Neto that was just brought in over the weekend from Wolves. All right, leaving Chelsea, let's go to Gallagher. Is the man we're talking about this morning. Gallagher is in the news as Chelsea have asked Conor Gallagher to return to England as his proposed move to Atletico Madrid risks collapsing at the last minute, according to reports. The England international's move to the La Liga club has been in limbo, with him having been in Madrid for 5 days after traveling there to undergo a medical. A £33.7 million move has been agreed between the two clubs, with Gallagher traveling to Spanish capital after being given permission by Chelsea to do so. His medical has been completed, but Atletico need to offload one of their own players to complete the deal for Gallagher to become a new player in Spain. Despite being advised he will only be a squad player in a new manager Enzo Maresca's side, the Blues have requested Gallagher travels back to England, and a flight is said to be booked, as reported by Fabrizio Romano. So Gallagher coming back from Atletico probably would have the chance to play for Chelsea this season if all things go south. All right, let's take you to West Ham. We're looking at West Ham. West Ham is in the news this morning as West Ham have completed the signing of Aaron Wan-Bissaka from Manchester United in a deal worth £15 million. The fullback has completed a medical with the Hammers, and his arrival is set to be officially unveiled immediately. Meanwhile, Wan-Bissaka had just 1 year remaining on his deal at Old Trafford, and the move appeared to have stalled in recent days over an exit settlement surrounding the reduction of his salary in East London. However, the transfer finally got over the line on Monday, with the club's Premier League opener now just days away. The deal marks the Hammers' 8th signing of the summer, as Julian Lopetegui has set about reshaping his squad since being appointed as the club's new manager in May. Talking about West Ham there. All right, let's go to Liverpool, where Liverpool are exploring a move for Valencia goalkeeper Giorgio Mamardashvili for around £35 million, with the possibility he would then be sent on loan. The 23-year-old Georgia international is viewed as a potential long-term investment, but Liverpool do not need a new goalkeeper this summer unless Raheem Keller leaves. Meanwhile, Mamardashvili's contract with the La Liga club is expected to expire in 2027. The goalkeeper, a graduate of the Dynamo Bili's Academy, joined Valencia permanently in 2022. All right, let's move on to other big stories. The Leeds and Maroons enjoy a meal at a Manchester restaurant. That's the story we are looking at this morning as we give you all the big headline stories. And just to let you know that Manchester United expect Mathis De Ligt and Nusa Maru to be available to face Fulham on Friday after they completed their medicals. The pair will sign from Bayern Munich for £55.8 million. Yes, that's the pair on your screen there. And we're pictured on Monday night enjoying a meal out in Manchester, having flown in from Germany earlier in the day. The duo were seen leaving the upmarket Sexy Fish restaurant in Deansgate with De Ligt walking out of the restaurant holding hands with his wife, Anneke Molina, a model, and is the daughter of a former Netherlands player, Keje Molina. Several supporters also gathered outside the Asian restaurant to take pictures with the club's new signings who had been pictured arriving at Munich Airport earlier in the day before flying to Manchester. So now you see the two players that will be joining Manchester United for the 2024-2025 season. Let's go talk about Serie A, where one man is in the news. His name, Emerson Royal, is in the news this morning. Emerson Royal is the man we're talking about, as AC Milan have completed the £15 million signing of Tottenham defender Emerson Royal, with the centre-back signing a 4-year contract with Italian giants. The deal will also include an option of a further 12 months as Royal departs the Premier League following a mixed time with England's top flight. Emerson scored 4 goals in 101 appearances for Spurs after joining from Barcelona in 2021 for a reported fee of £25.8 million. High expectations arrived on Royal's back when he joined from Barcelona 3 years ago, but has struggled to find consistent form under different managers. The Brazilian international was at the time booed by Tottenham supporters during his spell at the club, while Mickey van der Veen's arrival last year dropped him further down the defensive pecking order. Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou has established a starting centre-back partnership of Christian Romero and Van de Ven that has also restricted Royals' Premier League playing time. Meanwhile, Chelsea defender Caleb Willi will spend next season on loan at French side Strasbourg. All right, let's quickly look at one player. We're talking about Spain captain Alvaro Morata's split from his model wife. Before we go for a quick break, let's tell you that former Chelsea and Real Madrid striker Alvaro Morata and his wife Alice Campello have separated after 7 years of marriage. Confirmation of their split comes just a fortnight after the pair were spotted kissing on a beach during a family holiday in Sardinia. Campello was also pictured by her husband's side after he captained Spain to victory in the final of the Euro 2024 on July 14th. Morata, who moved to Milan after 2 seasons at Atletico Madrid, was recently spotted without his wedding ring as he signed shirts for Milan fans. Campello, an Italian influencer, has since removed her husband's name from all of her social media bios. She changed her name online from Alice Campello Morata back to Alice Campello. All right, let's go for a quick break. When we return, we'll be talking tennis as we wrap up Talk Sports.
want to go further to congratulate you on being on DSTV 365. Yeah, channel 365 is an awesome thing. Congratulations, and I will enjoy each and every one to keep on watching Global TV.
This is Global TV. For your current affairs, for your current information, ideas, education, entertainment news at the best. Channel 365 on DSTV. You have to...
All right, Frank Alapa, let's wrap up the program. Thank you for rejoining us from Benin City. Let's quickly look at Morata's split from his wife. How do you think this is going to affect Morata, especially now that he's also looking at leaving Spain to join another club, probably Milan? Hello, Frank.
Hi, Tony. How are you doing again? Thank you.
Fine. All right. Let's wrap it up in 2 minutes. Quickly, Morata has had a split from his wife. And how do you think it's going to affect Alvaro Morata, especially now that he's also thinking of leaving Spain to move to Italy?
Morata has always been the journeyman. And leaving Spain to go to Italy won't be the first time. He has played for Juventus. Yeah, he has always been the guy who moved. So moving will not be a problem for Morata. He's experienced. He has been able to validate himself by winning the Euros with Spain as the point man, even though everybody was talking about Yamal and all that. And then talking about his wife issues. Let me ask everybody, what's your business? Leave him alone. You will walk. He plays football. Leave the other one out. Leave Morata alone. He got tired of it and he walked away.
All right, Frank, I want to say thank you very much for joining me this morning on TalkSport. This is where we're going to draw the curtains on today's edition. Hopefully, I'm going to get you tomorrow so that we can have more time to talk about other issues making the rounds in the exciting world of sport. And my regards to your beautiful family and the people of Edo State. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tony. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow.
On today's edition of the program Talk Sport. My name is Anthony Momodu, the King of Sport. Good morning.